Hi guys, it's me again, Sir Ace, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we are going to talk about absolute value. So what is an absolute value? So absolute value is actually the distance of a number on a number line from 0. So this is like 0. And then all the numbers going to the left are negative numbers. So we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and so on and so forth. On the, all numbers going to the right from 0 are positive numbers. So we have positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So an absolute value is written like this. This is the symbol. So that is the symbol for an absolute value. If like for example we have here A. So like for example we have there A, the absolute value of A. The absolute value of A. So that means that the distance of A from 0. So the distance of A from 0. So always remember that absolute value asks how far. It asks how far, not what direction. On what direction. It always asks how far, kung gaano kalayo. So like for example, we have absolute value of let's say positive 5. Absolute value of positive 5. So positive, let's say 3 only. We only have 3 here. So the absolute value of positive 3. So where is positive 3? So this is positive 3. So how many units away is positive 3 from 0? So we're just going to count. So from 3, you're going to count 1, 2, and 3. So meaning we have 3 units away. So from 0, we have 3 units away from 3. How about going to the right? So we have 1, 2, and 3. 3. So we can say that the absolute value of 3 is 3 because it is 3 units away from 0. How about the absolute value of negative 2? Absolute value of negative 2. So the absolute value of negative 2. So let us have negative 2. So you're just going to count. So from negative 2 going to 0 or 0 going to negative 2. So we have 1, 2. So this is 2 units away. So 2 units. How about on the other part? We have 1 and 2. So we have 2 units as well. So meaning the absolute value of negative 2 is 2. How about the absolute value of negative 1? Absolute value of negative 1. So the absolute value of negative 1 is, so from 0, you're going to count 1, negative 1. 0, negative 1. So 1 unit. On the other part, this is 0 to 1 unit away din. So we have 1 unit. So meaning to say, the absolute value of negative 1 is positive 1. Remember, the absolute value of all negative numbers and the positive numbers are always positive numbers. Why? Because we are dealing with the distance. Meaning, that must always be positive because we don't have negative distance. So the distance from 0 to any number, so that is always positive number. So if we have absolute value of negative 10, so that is positive 10. The same, they are just the same. So whatever the number inside the absolute value symbol, then that is the answer. Just change it into positive. So the same as if the absolute, we are looking for the absolute value of a positive number, like absolute value of 25, so definitely it is 25 because it is the distance from 0 going to the 25th number or 25 number on the number line. The absolute value of negative 30 is positive 30. You're just going to change negative to positive because as what I have mentioned, we're dealing with the distance and there is no negative distance. So as simple as that. So I hope you you learned something from absolute value and the technique. So the technique is that you're just going to change if the given is a negative number, you were asked to get the absolute value of a negative number, then just change negative to positive and then remove the absolute value symbol. If the given is a positive, then just remove the absolute value. Okay? Now, what if you were asked to identify a number from, like for example, from 0, which is 3 units away from 0. So what is the numbers or what are the numbers that are 3 units away from 0? What are those numbers? So 3 units away from 0 are 1, 2, and 3. 3 units. So it is positive 3. How about the other one? 1, 2, and 3. And then negative 3. So those are the numbers that are 3 units away from 0. How about numbers that are 4 units away, or let's say 4 units away from positive 2. So what are those numbers? So 4 units away, so from positive 2, you're going to count 4, 1, going to the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is negative 2, and the other one is 1. So if we're going to continue this or extend this, so this will be positive 4, positive 5, positive 6. So from 2, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's positive 6. So they are the numbers that are 4 units away from positive 2. So you're just going to count for you to identify those numbers that are unit away from the given number. Okay? So the distance of a number from 0 can also be written as the absolute value of x minus 0, wherein 0 is the reference point. Okay, so like for example, we have x minus 0 is equal to positive 5. So that means you are going to get all the possible values of x. All the possible values of x, all numbers that are 5 units away from 0, because this is our reference point. So whatever number is inside this absolute value, that is definitely the reference point. So if we have a number line, suppose that we have this number line, here we have 0, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. So, what are the numbers? So, our reference point is 0. So, what are the numbers that are 5 units away from our reference point, which is 0? So, you're just going to count. So, from 0, you're going to count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, the first one is positive 5. While the other one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is negative 5. So the possible values of your x are positive 5 and negative 5. So you're just going to count all the possible, you're just going to count the units away from the reference point. Another. So if this is, like for example, let us say this is 3. So you're just going to count 3 units away from the reference point, which is 0. So 3 units away from 0 is 1, 2, 3. So that is positive 3, and the other one is 1, 2, 3 is negative 3. So these are the possible values of your x, positive 3 and a negative 3. How about if the reference point is not 0? So like for example, let us change this. This is, let's say, minus 1. Minus 1. So remember, your reference point now is no longer 0, but 1. But it is 1. So from 1, you are going to count 3 units away from 1. So 1, 2, 3. So the possible values of your x are 4, and the other one is from 1, 1, 2, and 3. So negative 2. So those are the possible values of your x. Now, how about if this is, let's say this is 2, and then the passive units away is 4. So from positive 2, you are going to count 4 units away. So because this is your reference point. So 4 units away from 2. So this is your reference point, positive 2. So this is 4 units away. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So your x are positive 6, and then going to the left. So we have 4 units away from 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have negative 2. So you have 6, negative 2. So those are the possible values of your x. How about if, like for example, we have the absolute value of x minus negative 1. So this means, so this time we have two, the first one is we have an operation subtraction here, and then we have a negative number inside. So if that would be the case, this means that we are going to start with negative 1. So from starting from negative 1, so your starting point is negative 1. So you have negative 1 here. This is your starting point. So negative 1, 4 units away. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 5. And the other one is from negative 1 going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have positive 3. So the possible values of your x are negative 5 and positive 3. So how about if this is negative 2? And then that is, let's say 2. So from negative 2, from negative 2, 2 units away, you're going to count 2 units away. So from negative 2, 2 units away, so we have 1, 2. So the possible values of your x are 0, and then going to the left is 1, 2. So negative 4. So those are the possible values of your x. And that is definitely absolute value. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I also hope that you can apply this in your activities, especially during this pandemic that we're facing right now, the online learners. Please be reminded that it will end soon. So just keep on holding. Sama-sama po tayong matuto. Ano po? So if you learn something from this video, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you are updated whenever I post something that is very necessary in your activities or in your lesson, especially in math. And kindly share this to your friends so that they will also learn from this video. So that's all, and God bless. Bye.